time. It's really something. How do we make sense of it? Answer: we already did. Theories have come up in the past to try to explain the traversification of it.
First, there is the linear theory, which told the world that time moves in a straight line. According to this, it does not matter what we do in the past, present or future, the outcome will be the same. Quantum theory presented us with the idea of multiple dimensions. With 11 some odd dimensions, lesser-minded people such as you me could not hope to understand this, and if we think about it, we may become hungry and / or depressed. Lastly is the comic theory, which says that there are no paradoxes, and anything you do or say will not be used against you in a court of law.
But these are mere puzzle pieces, and they all form the one greatest theory. In process, using meditation, we can go to the past, present and future with little to no complications. So what are its goals? Our short-term goal is to merge our conscious viewpoints from the third and fourth dimensions to fully realize the fifth dimension. Our interim-term goals are to realize cosmic consciousness in the sixth dimension and to prepare a time portal within our consciousness for the arrival of our TTO, time-traveling oversoul. Our long-term goal of attaining God consciousness and manifesting it here in the third dimension is an ongoing process. There are virtually an infinite number of levels in God consciousness. However, there is a minimal level that can be called God consciousness. Levels below this are not concerned with God consciousness and are but sub-levels.
We all know that the third dimension is outward facing, or 6 directions of out from a common center. Now it is important that we establish the difference between the third and fourth dimensions, because this is a major point in the confusion for the spiritual students during this time period. We can start by stating that the fourth dimension is equal and opposite to the third dimension in every way. We have established that the third dimension has 6 directions of out. This would mean that the fourth dimension would have 6 directions of in. The direction of in is really a direction of through, which is actually another direction of out. Another way to look at this, using the Earth as the example, would be to imagine the Earth disappearing while tunneling into it. It then becomes obvious that you are really moving in a forward motion, which is another direction of out. We simply do not have the ability in our three-dimensional reality to move in a true inward direction. The three-dimensional viewpoint is from a single point to all directions of out. In order to stimulate a four-dimensional viewpoint, we would have to establish a viewpoint coming from everywhere, converging upon a single point. To help you do this, imagine yourself coming from everywhere in space, looking inward toward a single point of white light in your very center. As you converge upon this point from all directions, you are now moving in the direction of in.
Bueno.
By this point, you're probably wondering, how exactly can I do this? So, here's a simple display and explanation. First, you need to find a quiet and comfortable place to sit down. Pick 2 objects, one on your left and one on your right, and keep your left eye on the left one and your right eye on the right one at the exact same time. So, the opposite of cross-eyed. Don't try too hard or your brain's going to explode. By focusing on these 2 objects, you are occupying your mind. Allow time-traveling oversoul to manifest within your field of consciousness, which takes place in stages. First, this stage can take several lifetimes, so chances are you're going to die before you ever get to do this. You will not be aware of your time-traveling oversoul near you, but somehow you're building trust with him anyways. The second stage begins with you progressively increasing your study and meditation. And the third stage, after a very long time, you make the gradual transition from the three-dimensional human consciousness to the superhuman multi-dimensional consciousness.
There are a few laws of order that need to be followed. The establishment of cosmic consciousness and the current incarnation. Conscious contact with our time traveling over Soul, TTO, from outside of linear 3D time. The birth of Christ consciousness within the safe and protected environment of cosmic consciousness. And finally, to begin to realize and manifest God consciousness here in the third dimension.